Hello fellow pilots, I'm Major Payne, and here we go, full review of Wyvern S.4. I already talked about the parameters of this plane, and I pretty much accurately predict that this is not gonna be a very good plane. But today I'm gonna focus on how to make it work, how to make the best of it. I will show you my build, how I build it, and also the tactic we should use, which is even much more important than how you build your plane. So let's quickly go through the parameters first. I start from altitude performance. So here we go, the worst in the class. Unfortunately, 1100 meter of optimal altitude, it's very bad. So then maneuverability is also in a group of the multirole fighters which have the worst turn rate. So we don't have much to work here with. Airspeed, quite average for the class, like other multirole fighters, more or less. Now survivability also very average. Then I can go to the guns, and we have 4 20mm cannons, which are pretty good. They have good range, 760 meters, but still it's an average for the tier 7 multirole fighter, average firepower. Now I leave it for the last. That's the biggest strength of this plane. It's a 16 rockets, air-to-ground rockets. And we have very good resupplying time. It's 60 seconds. Each rocket deal 1500 damage, and radius is 35 meters. Now guys, is that the strength that allowed us to one-pass command center? Can we one-pass rocket base, or can we one-pass mining plant? The simple answer is no. On a command center or rocket base, we still have to deal with air defense aircraft like other multirole fighters. Over the command center, we have 3 light fighters, and these are very maneuverable, and we don't have the maneuverability in this plane, so we may find ourselves to struggle to take them out quickly with such a poor maneuverability. Now, after we take them out on the command center, we'll still have to destroy the main building and something else for 15 points if this is command center in enemy hands. On rocket base, pretty similar. We have to deal with 2 heavy fighters which fly at high altitude, altitude performance which we don't have. So we may find ourselves again struggle to get those planes, and that's take time. And after we take them out, those 2 heavy fighters on rocket base, then we still have to dive, take the main building with those rockets and something else, some 20-point target, which shouldn't be a problem because we have those 16 rockets. That's great. So that's good. But poor maneuverability, poor altitude performance are going to be a big problem to deal with those air defense aircraft quickly. And don't get me wrong, this aircraft is prepared very well to take over the strategic sectors, but I'm trying to make a point that this is acquire a lot of practice. It's not going to be as easy as you may think, because we have 16 rockets. Okay, that must be very easy. I'm flying, I destroy all the ground targets with ease. It's not. It just acquire a little bit of practice. Now you may think, okay, so 16 rockets, we should be able to take out the mining plant quickly. Unfortunately not. These rockets are very good, but on paper, in fact, we actually fire them in sets of 2, as you probably know if you have that plane. So that's create a problem. How to spread those rockets equally between those targets. We have 3 main targets on mining plant in order to flip over if it's enemy mining plant. We have 2 50 points targets and 1 main building for 80 points. These have most of the HP in this sector. So what I do, I try to fire 4 rockets into the main building, take it quickly, and then those 2 50 points targets, I use 4 rockets on each of them, but also have to fire my guns. The rockets have also small radius. This is not a bomb, so that's create additional problems. So it's pretty difficult to take the mining plant quickly. To the point that if you're not very experienced in that and you never done that before, it's even easier for you just to fire most of all those rockets at main building, take out the main building quickly, and then wait 60 seconds for another sets of those rockets and use half of these on each of these 50 points targets. You can do that as well. That's guaranteed takeover basically, in 60 seconds. The other way is just to spread those rockets equally, use your guns, but it still take time. because each time you have to turn on those, it's not one pass, you just need to make a turn, fire your guns, specifically if you're not gonna take out this 50-point target at one pass, which is very difficult. Not to mention that if you're gonna play up against tier 8, those targets have much more HP, and as you probably know, most of the games will be up against tier 8. And the difference I'm talking about, it's not small. You can see that on this kind of spreadsheet you have 8008 HP on tier 7 main building, and the same building at tier 8 games is gonna have 9900 HP. It's a big difference. For 50 points targets, difference is smaller, but still it's gonna cause problems because you can't quickly take this building with 4 rockets. You need to spend some time, fire your guns, which are not actually dealing great damage to ground targets. The only hope is that you set up on fire the section of this 50-point building. So what I'm saying here is that despite the fact that we have the biggest amount of rockets, air-to-ground rockets, that multirole in this game bring into the battle, we're still gonna struggle to take quickly mining plant, and the main reason here I would say is that the fact we have to fire set 2 of rockets. If we would fire single rockets each time, that could be much easier. We would spend 5 rockets on each of the 50 points building, and then we will have 6 rockets for main building, and that would be absolutely enough. With guns, I think that would work, but unfortunately we have to fire sets of rockets, and you can't fire 6 rockets into the 50-point building because that's too much. Like typical problems that World of Warplanes didn't think about. Time to look it up on my equipment. So how I build my plane. On first slot I have culminator sight standard with bonus characteristic for fire and accuracy at moving targets. On engine I use boost injection system just to travel between the sectors faster, and on guns I have long gun barrels, which I would say is must-have. It's very useful when you engage the ground targets. You can engage them for much longer, and it's also only defense against light fighters and other planes. It's a distance. You make a distance. You have much time to fire thanks to the long gun barrels, because you can't go into the maneuver fight, or very often you're not going to be able to disengage. So that's the only hope. Use your range and firepower. And on second slot I'm using the bolt carriers, which allowed me to fire for much longer. I'm not overheating my guns, which is useful specifically when you're engaging the ground targets, which we will a lot, and also when you want to defend yourself against the light fighters, the only thing you can do is use your firepower and range to knock them out, because as soon as they get close to you, that's it, that's game over, they get behind you and that's it. So that's why I choose this setup. And bonus characteristic for bolt carriers. If you set up your characteristic for rate of fire, then the difference between bolt carriers and gas operation action equipment is going to be marginal in terms of rate of fire, of course. But it's going to be huge in terms of overheat time, and I choose that, and it's worked really well. As for pilot skills, I recommend quite standard: aerobatic expert, aerodynamic expert, resilience, very useful, and marksman 1 and 2 also very useful if you have enough points. And if you have a better pilot with more skills from some other plane, because that's a premium, so you can put any pilot here, so I would say demolition expert skill would be very useful for this machine to increase the damage and radius for those rockets. Now guys, time for the tactic. So as you see here, I just finished take over this first sector, and then I go in a straight line for another one, and this is a huge mistake, specifically when there's a lot of players in the game, some light fighter players like in here, yeah. So what you should do, you should hug the edge of the map. You shouldn't go straight line. So they saw me already now, so they go on straight for me because I'm an easy target, and that's my mistake. I should much earlier choose this longer route, just go around, let them pass, yeah, because we have to focus on capturing sectors. This is our main objective. That's what we are good at. We are not good at dogfighting or defending against light fighters and so on. So that's what you do when you find the way to not be detected. Like in here, see these guys? F-15C, Vampire, Jesus, BF-109G, everything's here is gonna kill me. Everything's in this battle in enemy team will easily take me down, including this FW-190D. So what I need to do here is just try to find a way to the enemy sectors and not be detected. So that's my main focus. If you're gonna go in a straight line, you're gonna be easily killed, and this is waste of time, completely waste of time. So we are only good in taking over the sectors. We have these rockets, we have everything for that, but the problem is to get there alive, yeah? So that's why this is a good example on this map how I can use this longer route, yeah? But I get into that factory, I'm gonna be able to help my team take it over or take it over by myself. So making long story short, that's the way to be useful in a game and contribute to the win. Now, rockets, which I spent a lot of time to talk about, are also useful against aerial targets quite effectively. A little bit of practice and you should be able to, for example, make a Golubiev medal very easily with this bomber flight formation, which can be easily destroyed with those rockets, yeah? But also, in any head-on attack with heavy fighters, that could be also very useful, and we're gonna get to another example. So this is a very interesting battle against a very good player, Desert from Phantom Clan, and he's flying SM91. First I was thinking, Jesus, he have such advantage, he's gonna, you know, steamroll me completely, it's gonna be disaster. But then I realized that he's actually very good, yes. The plane is very good, player is very good, that's good for this test. But hold on a second, he can't go head on with me because I have those rockets, and I'm gonna outmaneuver him, so he's really not that much of advantage. He can try to surprise me because he has a speed, firepower and altitude performance, but if I pay attention to minimap, if I'm not gonna allow him to surprise me, then I should be able to do my things, yeah? And things which he is not able to do. So I have a multirole fighter with 16 rockets, so I can take this strategic sector, I can take the command center, I can take the mining plant. He's gonna struggle with these, because he don't have this air-to-ground armament, yeah? But also in a battle, as you can see here, I don't have to do everything on my own. This factory already been started, so I'm not destroying every target by myself. It's much easier here, yeah? But anyway, I'm trying to flip this over, but above me, over this factory, also is enemy bomber, and he's keep bombing those targets, so in this case it's not gonna be possible because he just reversed my progress. So what I'm doing here, I'm gonna decide to go for another sector. I'm gonna leave this because I don't have any more rockets, so I'm gonna leave this. If Desert want to fight for this mining plant, that's gonna take him a lot of time, which I can use to take over other sectors, which I do. And now I come back to this mining plant, which is now enemy mining plant, and there's my main opponent is SM91, and I have my rockets almost ready, and we're gonna use them in head-on, but it's not always a good idea. See, it's look great, it's a very spectacular kill, but now I don't have rockets. I have enemy mining plant below me, yeah, which I could use my rockets for, but I don't have them because I prefer to do the rocket kill, yeah. I could also go into the maneuver fight, try to avoid him and go behind him, you know, and if he escaped, then I keep going with my mining plant takeover. So instead I have to go to this garrison here, where my bomber flight formation is coming for this, yeah. So basically I'm wasting a time because I could do some damage over the mining plant, and this garrison will be taken by bomber flight formation. Now I'm getting back to the factory to recapture that, and everything's fine. See, heavy fighter cannot risk engagement. He's actually on very low HP now, so I do my things again, but ignoring the even bot light fighter is deadly for this plane, and this is a very good example. So I'm desperate to take this mining plant, so I have to take that, and I put myself into position where light fighter around me, it's a bot, but it's so much more maneuverable. I can't do anything, I can't outmaneuver it, and I can't run away now because he's too close. So I'm a sitting duck now. All you can do in that situation is try call your teammates and stay low above the ground, and bots are very bad at this. If you are very low, they struggle to hit you. But anyway guys, this battle actually realized something to me, that this machine can have advantage when it's flying up against 1 or 2 players in enemy team, because we have capabilities of taking any sectors, and most of the planes don't have those capabilities. Now in here, of course, I'm a little bit fucked, yeah, low and slow, so he's gonna kill me in a squall, yeah, but look what's happened now. He is on the mining plant and he have no way to take it, so he have to leave this mining plant. He's just incapable of taking over that plant. So I think that plane actually gonna work pretty well, specifically in the battles where there's like 1 or 2 players, like on North American server or in European server during the week, morning, afternoon, maybe late in the evening, where there's much less player. But if there is a lot of players, then we're just gonna become insignificant. Not to mention if you play up against tier 8, then it's really low impact plane. Alright guys, to sum up, this plane can be good only in specific conditions, which I mentioned, and if you're looking for a good premium plane at tier 7, unfortunately that's not the one. So if you have it already, make a best of it, but thank you very much for watching guys. I hope you like it and found it useful. If so, please leave a like and subscribe for future content, and have a great flight pilots, and see you in the skies.